YouTube is Rob. Um, yeah, I noticed yesterday that my Yellowstone video was getting a lot of attention, and then of course somebody thumbs it down, which is really cowardly, I think, if you're not going to say anything at least. And so I want to make this video to, to make sure that people do realize that the accuracy of what I'm saying is true. And I want to show you that I want to prove to you that South America has sat on top of North America. Well, they sat on top of each other at one time. And we'll start with this little key thing right here. You see that little hockey stick looking thing? Well, there's another one right here. I'm going to line them up and then we'll zoom in. Right there. But on top of that, when I put it there, the rest of the stuff lines up too. So you can tell that's a pretty good indication of that what I'm telling you is true. You can see the outline of the whole thing right there. I don't know how more obvious it could be. So with that said, let me get rid of this one. It's just easier to see that hockey stick thing with this color. So I want to use a green one because it's nicer to look at. So here you go. See, same thing. But also I wanted to point out some other things here. You got these dots right here. You'll notice that there's dots here. So there's a good chance that they were lined up at one time, and it sure looks like that way to me. Which then puts the discharge right here by Lake Tahoe. Could you imagine this bolt of lightning, how loud it would have been? Well, it would have not been like it would have been there for a while. It wasn't like it was over in a second. This thing was spinning around. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to show you that. Also, my theory is based upon that I claim that all continents sat on top of each other. And not just continents, but other areas too of the planet. And I want to show you, I want to make sure that you can see the evidence of that with this. This right here, let me get rid of this planet. This right here is the Fiji Island right there, and basically you got, this looks similar to this. Okay. Oops. Oh, come on. If I rotate it, you can see how it looks like this. It looks like it needs to be rotated a little bit. So, there you go. I'm going to rotate it so you can see it rotated. Okay. You see it's starting to get closer to the way it looks. And can you see that? That's pretty good. You can see that this fits in here, but you also can see that these I think these are filaments. I think these are vortexes right here. You see how they look like a tornado coming down and sweeping back and forth and all that? Well, I think that's exactly what it is, because I think our planet was made from a vortex, and I've shown that evidence too, which is pretty strong. It's just that nobody's actually I guess realized what it means. That I can show you the Birkeland currents that are on our planet's surface that created the planet, because all the information that is there that tells you exactly how the planet was created, like a storybook. And so we got this right here, which is pretty impressive. But there's some, oh yeah, and you got this right here, and that right there looks like that, just from a different angle. And this is something I'm going to explain later on in other videos. But I wanted to show you another thing though that's pretty cool. Let me bring back this planet, move this out of the way. Now, this is here. You can see where its purpose is. here's this, but this time I want you to look at this. This right here is Australia. It's their coastline. This right here is our coastline, where I live. I live right here. Would you say that's good enough evidence that says that continents can sit on top of one another? I'm sure. Watch this. That's the Salton Sea right there. And to my friends and family that live here, I'm showing you what used to sit on top of us. Ooh, these are our mountains right here, and they have some unique features. And it looks like I'm gonna have to investigate this area right by Australia, because that obviously sat right on our mountains. And by comparing the two, I might be able to find some really cool uh, factual information that'll explain why our mountains look the way they do. So, I mean, just by that alone, can't you see how valuable this theory is? Plate tectonics, they don't know anything about this. They have nothing to do with this. They could probably care less about this. All they care about is the San Andreas fault line that runs through here. Yeah, it runs through here. And I think what the problem is that they've misidentified what fault lines are, what they actually are. I don't think they're. I don't think there's plates under there, and I don't think those plates are moving. I think these are fractures, and I think they're there to relieve, uh, or well, they could be there also for growth, but I think they're more there to relieve plasma. I guess when the core of our planet flares up or something. That's what I think. I think plasma shoots out of our fault lines when there's a cataclysm, the reoccurring cataclysm. But anyways, check this out. Look at that. And I bet you the further you go in, the more it lines up with other things too. Okay, like for instance, you see this round thing right here, and you got this thing right here. Oh, it looks like it totally the same diameter of it. It's related to it. Now, what I want to know is, okay, there's areas that produce gold, and I wonder if those areas line up with anything over here that produces gold too. See, this could be actually pretty cool. Look at, here you go. You can see how this kind of, corners like that, and then of course you can see this. And you can see this okay, like you see this line right here? And if you do this yourself, you can look at whatever you want and line up. I'm sure you could find other stuff that I'm not seeing here. Oh, let's take a look at up here, Lake Tahoe. See, look at the V right here. That. Now I already know that this. Okay. Now we can combine some things right here. I was just thinking about doing this. And see the similarities between all three. Oh yeah, where's that? Okay, so this, I know this round part should be over here somewhere. Pretty cool stuff, huh? I could do this for hours, by the way. So, but check this out. You got this number 6 right here, which alarms me a little bit. But sixes are like rotation to me. That's what it means. Like, that's why, like, you have a reverse a 6 and a reverse 6 up here because I think there's a reverse rotation, and I'll bet you that this right here kind of swings and covers that because it's probably a recurring pattern of it. But what I wanted to show you is that, okay, this right here on the 6, move that, then you got this on that 6, and then of course I think I already covered that if I flip this around, this island right here will line up with this thing right here actually, and then we'll also line up with here as a recurring pattern. I don't know about you, but I know this is it. Look at this right here. You want to know what created Yellowstone Park too? This. They're all the same thing. Look. This is the same thing. This also is responsible for Yellowstone Park. It's probably sat on top of it. But this is rotating too. This is interesting. And then look how, like I showed you here. I can tell you right now, the current science that everybody believes is wrong. And I have a feeling it's not just in geology either. I think the electric universe is really the only science you need to know because it explains everything very easily. It explains stuff that NASA can't explain. And I was sold on it the moment I heard it. You know, once they started explaining how the sun works and how comets work, I knew right then these guys are the real deal. And I know that the NASA and the current science is a joke. They don't even practice science, by the way. Anytime you look through something and you see something and you just automatically claim it's a gravity wave, that's not science. That's ridiculous. That's like, you can't do that. You can't just look. You can't just notice a wave out in the middle of nowhere in space and just turn around and tell everybody you just proved that the expanding universe and all this and that because you saw a wave, and then make claims that it's gravity. You can't do that. I'll tell you one thing about NASA. They don't know. They couldn't tell you the difference between a gravity wave or a dark matter wave. How would they know? They don't know what either one of those are. They're making up shit. They're making up stuff and then they charge you money to go look for it when they already know it ain't there. But they're just trying to make believe it's out there somewhere. It's so stupid. I wish people would wake up. And it's so funny because if you're here because I've argued with you in one of these one of these videos on black holes and stuff like that, wake up, man. That shit's not real. Black holes and stuff like that. I mean, it's so stupid. Anyways, I guess I should just cut it off there before I start getting emotional over this. Thanks for watching. Bye.